on the news.
Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And it's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check, check. Lucky.
Inside. Check 30. Switch. 6-6. Pull it high. Yeah, this.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Gets this to Devontae Adams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the Browns' 23-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
6-man. Hey, black.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. On 1st and 10, Costello. Open man is Higgins. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
He goes, 60 all. Hey, Charlie. Hey, go.
Off play action. Costello. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Dean Lowry just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. This pass complete to Higgins. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw. Costello got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
And the Browns first down.
Go. 8 read.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 more there and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ready. 15 line. 15 line.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. One interception. It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Costello. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way, you don't lose any yardage.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The tight end ball carrier brought down right at the line of scrimmage. A gain on the play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Costello. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 34. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on second down, Costello. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On third down, Costello. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Chubb on the counter. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And there, the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Throwing now is Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Greedy Williams picks it off. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. A trick shot on the extra point, but it is good off the left upright. And that will shave one more off this lead. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Right. We are going.
Watch the twist. Jack!
To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll buy some time right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Right here. We got to step it up. Check, 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 check.
Now Rodgers. And the pressure gets to him again. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
319! Poco over here.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
319!
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now Chubb running right. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Hey, Delta. Five.
Throwing on first down. Costello. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Ready.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Costello. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, Haywood. 61, matchbox lights. Big grip.
Looking to throw. Costello. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Hey, check 26.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Bravo.
Check. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Check, 52's the Mike.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Complete to Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken very short. And he's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
X3, 218, chop it. Go.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Set, ready, 90, Wolf.
3 bucks.
To throw on 3rd down, Costello. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line.
1st down, Browns.
Ready?
This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Costello going to throw deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Costello. He finds Taylor. Complete. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Bullet good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joe Schobert gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sione Takitaki in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 29-yard line. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now as they're down to the 29-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, Mike.
To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 29, the 30, the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Don't get nervous.
They'll go again to Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
All right. Check 52. Quick the edge. Go. 25. Check 25. Liz.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Jones. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. Now the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Two.
They'll try the draw now with Chubb. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Push him back. Pilot, 64, weak, 5.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Here we go, D.
A run for Nick Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And Bullock will put this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Travis Carey. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
First and 10. Ready, set. At the 27-yard line.
Chubb. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in